prescription medications, but occasionally we don't exactly know how to do that. So the doctor is in here to help us stay safe. The first question is, with prescription medicines, you hear so many people, hey, you got a pain pill, you got a this, you got a this, oh yeah, here's one. How safe is it to be giving other people your medication?
No, it's not safe at all. It's very important to make sure that you only take the medications that's prescribed to you. And it's for multiple reasons. First, when the prescription is prescribed to you, the physician has looked at it and made sure that it's appropriate for you. The pharmacist has checked it. And then when the pharmacist puts the medications in the bottle, he makes sure that they're current medications, and it's the current medication. So when you get it from a friend, none of those controls are in place. You know, you don't know where the medication came from, you don't know how old the medication is, so potentially you may be getting an ineffective medicine, or, you know, more rarely you might be getting the wrong medication. So it's real important to stick with what's been prescribed to you at this current time.
Now, I know people can get possibly medications online, all kinds of ways now. We're so close to the border. A lot of people go into Mexico and bring pills back. What about the safety of doing something like that? Again, I guess without a doctor's prescription.
Right. You know, the whole supply chain is very carefully controlled here in the United States. You know, we have a lot of controls in place to check out the factory or the production site, the whole supply chain, how it makes it down to the distribution area. The pharmacy itself is checked. We know the pharmacist has a license, and he has to have a certain amount of education. So that whole line is appropriately controlled in the United States. But when you get it from other locations, we don't know how safe they are. You know, they may be adulterated, they may be old, ineffective, potentially incorrect medication. So I think the safest thing to do is to either get it from a reputable location here in the United States, so that's a pharmacy, anywhere in the city. Internet sites are a little bit more difficult to figure out because you don't know where they're getting the medications from. The sites quite often say in the United States, but the pharmacy itself may be Ireland, Canada. You know, so it's more difficult to tell. Certainly going south of the border and taking medications and bringing them back here is definitely not a good idea either, because you don't know where they're from, and they haven't been as closely vetted as medications here in the United States.
And quickly, what do you do with your old medications? You know, we host a drug disposal program at our station around the year at different times. What about, do you just simply flush them? Do medicines really get old? Let's say you're taking them for migraines, and you may not take them all the time, and you may have that prescription for a couple of years. Do the medicines get old? Do you need to flush them? What do you do with them?
Medications certainly get old. It's important to look at the expiration date on the medication and make sure that you're not keeping them around longer than that. And it's important when, say, antibiotics are prescribed to take them appropriately and for the full length of time. You don't want to save them up just in case you get a cold later on, also not a good idea. And then finally, you talked about disposal. You know, people used to flush them down the toilet, but then it's going right into our bay and into our ocean. So it's important to give it back to the pharmacy so that the pharmacy can dispose of it appropriately. They have other ways to dispose of it so that we're not potentially contaminating our waterways.
Okay. Well, some great advice on prescription medicines. Thank you as always, Dr. Vijay. And if anyone out there has a